WWDC is now less than 1 week away. I want to talk you through all the rumours about what we expect to see at the keynote. Apple Park. Apple's brand new headquarters is nearing completion, and staff have started to move in. So expect some talk of Apple Park at the WWDC Keynote. There will likely be a brief history of the project, as well as pictures and videos from inside and out. Apple Park recently showed up as a 3D model, walkways and more in Apple Maps, including the Steve Jobs Theatre, where future Apple keynotes, but maybe not WWDC, will be held. More than 12,000 workers will make the move to Apple Park. The move is expected to take around 6 months. Software. Software is one of those things that we just don't know for sure what will be in it, as it's made on Apple's campus and not in factories in China. So leaks are hard to come by. However, we do know that we will get new versions of iOS, macOS, tvOS, watchOS, and maybe even a Siri OS. We can speculate about what will be in these new versions, reading through news reports, listening to other Apple commentators, and my own wants and dreams for iOS. This is my wish list. System-wide dark mode to make reading the device at night easier. Being able to change which functions are available in Control Center. Home app improvements. A long shot, but the ability to use non-HomeKit devices with the Home app by providing an API for developers such as Belkin. Apple Pay improvements, including person-to-person Apple Pay, as mentioned later in the video, and the ability to use more reward cards with Apple Pay, such as Nectar and Tesco Club Card. Close all apps. One button to close all the apps, rather than having to swipe them all away individually. App Picture-in-Picture on iPhone. The same as the feature on iPad, but brought to iPhone. Touch ID to open apps and/or a guest mode. This is very simple. When you hand your device to a friend with an app open, such as the phone app, you want all other apps to not be accessible to them. This could be either a guest mode or the ability to lock apps down with Touch ID in the settings. Some apps already do this themselves, but it'd be nice to have a system-wide way of doing it. Portrait mode, depth of field / pull focus, in video mode. This may take new hardware, so we may not see it until the new iPhones are released, but having the ability to do portrait mode in videos would be a massive help for video makers. Lossless video recording and encoding. This is so we can keep every bit of video and photo data with zero compression if we wish to. Put the camera settings in the camera app. You can change the frame rate of a video, its resolution and other things in the iOS settings app. But putting them directly into the camera app would make much more sense and would help out video makers. Siri improvements for all platforms, including the rumoured Siri speaker. Siri is way behind Google Home and Alexa, and I'd like to see her improved if she's going to be brought to a standalone device. Amazon Video for tvOS. The Apple TV has a range of really good video options, including Netflix, BBC iPlayer, and TV Player among so many others. However, Amazon Video has been missing. A report from Recode cites sources familiar with the plans, saying that the Amazon Video app may be shown at WWDC and released this summer. This would bring Apple TV back into contention because you can get Amazon Video on so many platforms, smart TVs and set-top boxes. Here in the UK, there are still many services missing from Apple TV, although most can be AirPlayed from their iOS app. These include All 4, ITV Hub, and UK TV Play. TV subscription service. There has been talk for a long time about a possible TV subscription service coming from Apple. They have dipped their toe in the water by offering Carpool Karaoke and Planet of the Apps as part of your Apple Music subscription. Apple could create its own Netflix-style service. However, it has so much money in the bank, it could just buy Netflix or HBO and start building its service from there. They could also buy Disney, which owns a 30% share of Hulu. As we know, Steve Jobs was Disney's biggest shareholder following his sale of Pixar to Disney. Or they could go it alone and make their own content deals. This is certainly an interesting space that Apple wants to get into. We will have to see if the TV service is ready to be announced at WWDC. Person-to-person Apple Pay. This is a feature I have been wanting since the day Apple Pay was announced. The ability to send money using Apple Pay to other Apple users, similar to services such as Square Cash, PayPal.me, Monzo.me, and many other services. Recode reports that Apple has also been in talks with Visa about the possibility of creating virtual Apple prepaid debit cards. This would allow users to spend the money they get from the new peer-to-peer payment service instantly without having to wait for the money to clear into their bank account. Siri smart speaker. Rumours have been circling for a while now about a possible Siri speaker being released or at least shown at WWDC. The device will be similar to that of Amazon Alexa and Google Home. The speaker will likely run some version of iOS, maybe SpeakerOS or even SiriOS, and will likely be able to send content to your phone or iPad for a more rich experience, similar to what the Echo and Fire tablets already do. As an Alexa user, I can see the use for a smart speaker. However, Alexa is very open. It can control smart home devices from any manufacturer that make a skill for it, and there's even a way of using HomeKit devices with it using bridge software. Apple's, on the other hand, will likely only support HomeKit devices. Siri is also not up to scratch against Alexa or Google Assistant. The Siri speaker needs to be teamed with a major update of Siri itself in iOS 11. Siri is the most accessible AI assistant. It's available on iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, Macs, Apple Watch, and maybe its very own speaker. We will find out if these rumours are true at WWDC. New iPad Pro. We were expecting to see new iPad Pros in March or April. However, reports are now saying we are likely to see them at WWDC. This could include a new 10.5-inch iPad Pro with narrower bezels, and maybe a refresh to the iPad Mini. However, some reports are saying it may be discontinued. New Macs. As we know, Apple is working on a complete rethought of the Mac Pro, with Apple-branded Pro displays. However, this won't be until next year. As for MacBooks, we may get a spec bump at WWDC to both the standard MacBook and the MacBook Pro, but I wouldn't expect anything more than that. What I would like to see is a new Mac Mini. That hasn't been updated since 2014. As for the MacBook Air, I expect it to be discontinued, because the new MacBook is basically the new MacBook Air. iPods. I wouldn't expect to see new iPods. They may keep the current range available for a while. However, I would not be surprised if they are discontinued soon. Although some still buy them, the need for a single-purpose device in our lives is over. Our phones do music and so much more. In my view, the iPod is becoming irrelevant. As you can tell, it's going to be a jam-packed show, so make sure you download my WWDC bingo card in the description below and in the cards in the right-hand side of your screen. And together we'll find out what's in store at WWDC. You'll be able to watch it live on apple.com, on your Mac, iPhone, iPad, and the Apple TV Apple Events app. I will also be running the live blog with all the announcements as they happen, and a full roundup next Monday from 5:45 PM on the giffgaff blog. Links again in the video description and in the cards in the right hand side of your screen. I do hope you'll join me for that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.